Hello everyone and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. How is everyone doing today? That's a thing. Spoiler alert. There's your thing. There, welcome. Welcome, hello everyone, hello. Oh god, everything's a mess. My life's a mess, guys. I haven't eaten lunch, I have beer, I have laptops, I have keyboards. I couldn't find my headsets, my headphones, so I couldn't start because I couldn't listen to videos. So yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. Everything's the best. Hello W6I, hello Factor, hello Jose, how are you? You're new, well welcome to the show. This is sometimes we start things. There is probably a lot. Hello Gio, hello Brian Mullins, the Fox, and another Fox with Sean, Karen, and Harry. Oh my goodness, all the peeps, and ANA. That hardly qualifies as laptops and keyboards. That's okay. You don't know anything about computers. It's fine. I will let your ignorance be. She's gonna get pissed at that one. Hello, Bluigi. Hello. I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful way. That's what Asian calls a white guy who likes Asian women because they think they are submissive. What? Hello, Hail Empyrean, how are you? Hi, Ace, how are you? What's up with all my friends and colleagues? I hope everyone, and Rusty Walker, oh my goodness, lots of new peeps. Hello, Rusty Walker, how are you? Been reading your comments, Rusty Walker, very nice. Welcome to the stream. If you're new, this is a stream. There was a disclaimer before it. We don't really talk about things that we're supposed to talk about. We get derailed easily, and there's boobs sometimes. It's great. It's fun. It's all the best. Yeah. Welcome. Housekeeping. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong fucking housekeeping. Yeah. So I made a video. That was, yeah. I have lots to say about that. I don't know if I want to say it though. I have lots to say. All the emotions. I have so much emotions. Legit emotions. I'm gonna say it. Apparently, I'm gonna actually talk about the video. I was genuinely regretting making the video, mostly because it showed way too much. Check your Discord on what you're going to, just because the comments that I got were just they were really dumb. And not all the comments were really dumb. But did someone show up and be like, oh, you just pander to people with mental illness, which I'm assuming he means people who are trans. You're a fucking idiot, and you're a horrible person. You should fuck off my channel. That person who left that comment, I don't know who you are. I don't pay that much attention. That person, you're a dickbag. What is this show about? Oh, I guess there's enough new people. We'll talk about it. So yes, so I have lots of things. One of these days, maybe we'll talk about the things. I'm gonna let you all decide if you want to talk about the things. And then we'll go from there. Okay. What is the show about? Hello, new people. Welcome to the show. The show we pick. We talk about a beer of the week, which we don't have this week because R&D is very busy doing his research project right now. So, I had to watch cats. I had to observe cats, so I was kind of busy observing cats and couldn't go to the store. That's okay. It happens. It's fine. So I'm drinking an old beer. And then we pick a video. We vote on it, and I should actually get that up and going. We vote on a video to talk about, and then we talk about that video. And most of the time get derailed and talk about other things that are sort of in the news or whatever, things that happen, and we talk about things. Sometimes we talk about things that are important to life and society, and sometimes we just talk about boobs, or video games, or drawing, or whatever. We just go on tangents, and that's okay. It's a fun time. We take things fairly easily around here. So no stress in this one. So yeah, lots of bacon, I see. Check my Discord. I will later. This beer is not so good this time around. So this is so like I just said, there's no beer of the week because I am working on my, oh look, there's other cat. I am working on my research project for the end of the semester for my animal behavior class, which, if you don't know, if I haven't tweeted about it enough or just said enough, I'm researching cat behavior. So I'm watching these assholes do things, and then I'm watching a bunch of other cats do things, mostly related to stress and how much. My hypothesis is that cats in more, well, there's research showing that cats in more stressful situations groom more often, or groom when there's like sort of acute, yes, acute stress. So like if you, hi buddy. If you startle a cat, he's going to probably groom afterwards. It's very likely. So the idea behind my research is that cats that are in like shelters and things like that will have a higher tendency to groom rather than cats who are in a home environment, because home environments are more stable and, you know, potentially better than shelter environments. So that's my hypothesis, and I'm studying cats on that. How do I get a wrench? Hang around long enough. Everyone has a wrench. Everyone's special. Everyone has a wrench so that no one feels special. It's pretty much how that works. And sorry, Homs is being Homs and not wanting to pick a good spot. So yeah. So there's no beer of the week because I'm working on that, and I was halfway through. Halfway through observing. I went online and found a live stream of this shelter. I don't know where. And I was about halfway through it when my computer died, and I lost all the data that I had taken on my computer. So I had to start all over. And then by the time that was done, with the time I was done observing all the cats, it was time for the show to start. So. And it looks like Hobbs has decided to join us, so as soon as I can get this on him, there we go. There he is. Isn't he handsome? He's the best. He's the best kitty. In case you were also new, Hobbs is actually a real cat. So there he is. What a wonderful day. What a wonderful. Also, I'm just new to the chat. I have been around since the Ultimate Listener thing with Marty. Oh my goodness, that's an old video. Every day you're new because every day is a new day. I'm the chinchilla guy. No wrench shit. Oh, you are the chinchilla guy. I remember you. How the chinchilla's doing? I'm sure, yes. A dog can add and subtract single-digit numbers. Human mental equivalent age 4. A cat doesn't give a fuck. Human mental equivalent of 43. It's true. It's true. They don't care. So this is Hobbs. In case you're new, he's actually a real cat. Not just an avatar. Okay. So with that said, let's get I guess I'll go through the menu and then get the voting bot going, which hopefully is there. So, video menu for today, CGI cat, always. Video menu for today is The Truman Show by ODDTV, Debunking Flat Earth by Rob Skiba, Perspective Physics by Phuket World, Test People's Energy by Pretty Boss TV, AOC by David Icke, Easy Mode by Forge Labs is about the, I guess there was an article about how the new game from Software should have an easy mode, and people are getting their panties in a twist about that all over the internet. So, you know, why not, right? Why not? And finally, transgenders in sport by Rationality Rules, because I haven't been angry enough this week. So why don't we throw that in there, right? I've had a rough week with that video. Not gonna lie. I'm not the happiest with it, but you know. It is what it is. Okay, so hopefully that should start a bot up. I hope there's a bot in there now. There we go. Okay, if you would like to vote for any of these things in the chat, all you have to do is put in upside down I vote and then the number that you want to vote for and hit enter, and bot in the screen will take care of everything else. You have to actually do upside down I upside down I vote. There we go. Brian Mullins got it. One of us. Would it be a dick move if I voted for number 7 for it to win, then left? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be a dick move. There is lots to be said there. There genuinely is. There genuinely is lots to be said. Also, yes, upside down. Thank you, Factard. There's genuinely lots to be said. To still be said. I should say, not to be said, because I've already said there's still lots to be said about transgender in sports, particularly Rationality Rules video on it. I was not a fan of. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of. If you don't know what this is all about, go watch my video on it. Also, that's really short. It's like 8 minutes, so go watch that. If you have way more time, you should also go watch. Sorry, I'm like shaking everything with my snapping. Essence of Thoughts video on it, which is much more thorough and much better than mine, but also way longer than mine. It's like 40 minutes, which is fine. He's got a lot to say, and he's got there's a lot. He does a lot of he talks about a lot of things in great detail. So there's definitely lots to be said there, and he kind of gets through all of it. I don't get through all of it. I just kind of get through a couple of things. So, but I have lots to say, especially one since I'm in the field of psychology. So I'm not an expert in transgender stuff, but you know, I know how brains work and stuff. Well, I pretend to. That's more or less it. So let's look at how our polls are doing, because that looked like, looks like we have a tie. Oh, no, not a tie. Number 7. So RR is winning by a single vote over number 2, which is debunking flat Earth. So we either want to talk about flat Earth or we want to talk about transgender and sport. That seems to be our 2 most popular ones. So transgenders in sports. Again, the easy mode one is actually also interesting, but I got really upset about it this weekend. Because it's one of those things that, again, I don't understand. Just so y'all can see her. She's other cats also wanting some attention because these 2 are needy assholes. So yeah, that number the easy mode thing just also got sort of got the blood pumping there. I wasn't very happy about a lot of what is. I don't understand a lot of it there. And it's kind of frustrating to talk to people about it. So I wouldn't mind getting things off my chest. Cats are needy assholes. You don't say. I know, right? Paradox only has normal Stellaris. I mean, there's plenty. See, the morning has normal in Stellaris. There's plenty of games that only have one game mode, like, and there's also plenty of games that have multiple game modes. Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to that. Like, it to me, the argument so far is you shouldn't ask games to have an easy mode, because I've heard people say like, oh, it'll make those games like not as much money, and I just sit there and I don't understand how you can say that when some of the most popular games in history have easy modes and hard modes all in the same package, and they didn't destroy the franchise. My favorite examples are pretty much all like the 90s FPS, 80s, 90s FPSs have multiple difficulty modes. The Doom games, all the Doom games have multiple difficulty modes. All Blood, which is extremely difficult on like normal, has an easy mode and an extremely difficult mode. Like, this idea that somehow making a game easy will make it crap is kind of stupid. So, yeah, like I don't understand how adding new extra modes to games ruins anything or really does anything. So that's kind of my opinion. Minecraft has an easy mode and it's got a hardcore mode. It's fine. I do only know Blood because you showed it to me. Blood was not one that I played before, but I mean, there's, again, it's not the only game. Blood. What's the other one? What's the incredibly racist one that's still hilarious? I can't remember it. It's got little Wang. Oh, we can no longer vote. Sorry. Also, the difference mode and Blood are still kicking pink in the inside. Lightly broiled, well done, and extra crispy. It's true. How can an adult have any chance against a 14-year-old did in any game? I don't know. DXMX has 4 difficulties. Yeah. I think I researched like Ninja Gaiden, the one that came out for Xbox or whatever. That's the platform I remember before. I'm not sure if it came out for other platforms. That one had 5 difficulty modes. I think like Devil May Cry 3, which was also really difficult, had like 3 or 4 difficulty modes. So again, nothing new. Plus Iron Man mode. That's, yeah. That's the reason for easy mode. There's always a reason for easy mode. In Blood, they're called homicide, genocide, and suicide. Ooh. Streamlabs, you suck. You just got there too late. Okay, Streamlabs has closed our poll. Okay, there's a way. I want to know because there's a command for this, but we will complete that poll. Oh, goodness. And I don't know what that did. I'm assuming that did something in the chat. Full has the most votes. Oh, by 38%. So I guess you all really do want to talk about transgender people in sports. Yay! My favorite topic this weekend. I haven't had enough of this topic this weekend at all. Oh, this hasn't at all consumed my last... How many days has that video been out? 1 day? Huzzah! Huzzah! I'm entirely regretting it, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about things. Oh, let's see. No, you can't have my pizza. You know what? I'm putting my foot down at my pizza. You are needy. I understand, but you cannot have my pizza. You may sit down, and I will put the camera on you, but you may not eat my pizza. No. My plan is working. There goes everyone's Sunday. Just everything's ruined now. Okay, so where's VLC? Did I even turn on VLC? No, I didn't even turn on VLC. That is how pro I am. Let's turn on some VLC here. So if you would like context on this, I strongly suggest you watch this week's video. Also, housekeeping. And I completely forgot, but housekeeping. New debate video on next Saturday, new debate video. It is actually done. Like, not a lie, not me just being like, oh, I think I'll get it done next week. No, it's actually finished. Which is good because I need to focus on finishing my final project for school. So I kind of put some time aside on Friday to make sure that video was done, and then I don't have to worry about it. If you are a patron, guess what? You already have access to it. Dear patrons, if you're in the chat, NANA, I think that might be it. NANA. If you would like to, you already have access to the video. If you would like to watch it, it should be on the patron things. So you can, if you'd like to, watch it now. And you have like kind of a shorter version of it, but not by much. You just kind of have the version without the extra kind of like end-bit music and a picture of Hobbs. So you don't get the picture of Hobbs. There's actually a picture of Emma this week, but you don't get that. So you don't get that, but you do have access to it. So you can watch it early, but it is finished. And then I'll have a premiere for it on Saturday. I'm going to use YouTube Premiere, and fuck you all for saying that it's terrible. I'm going to use it anyway. Okay. So, context for this video. This is a video put out by Rationality Rules. I made a response video to it yesterday. It already has come out if you would like to watch it. It's great. I think it's great. You should also watch Essence of Thoughts video on it. Also, great video. So, the athletic advantage of transgender women and why it is unfair is the whole title of this video. Okay. So. Oh, goodness. I am regretting my choices. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's actually really quiet at first, I think. Yes.
I want transgender people to be afforded absolute equality and fairness, right?
That's what I'm arguing.
There is nothing fair or equal about allowing transgender women who were born to male biological bodies to compete against women.
So, there we go. Crux of the argument right off the bat. This time I'm going to go watch the video before I add it to my playlist. That's true. It's actually real. I swear it's actually the real video. I did finish it. So, not to shift blame to someone else, but I am going to shift blame to someone else. I'm also going to move the camera because Hobbs is actually behaving and sitting well. So, there he is, needy bastard. He's such a needy bastard. Oh, what's that? There we go. So yeah, what was I gonna say? No, I did actually do it, and I am going to shift the burden of my laziness onto someone else. So since next debate video has a little bit, he talks a little bit about geology, which is not something that I know anything about. So I wanted to get help from Purple Dan because he's a geologist to help me sort of do the things. But he's also like a genuinely busy human being who goes to school and, you know, has a regular life and whatnot. And so he couldn't get it to me. But for part of the reason why things are a little late, because I was hopeful. It's not Dan's fault, but I was hopeful he'd get back to me soon so that I could have him be there. But, you know, whatever. Okay. So, begging the question right off the bat, yes. So let's start with some terminology, because this seems to be the biggest problem that people are having with with the video. The terminology. People don't seem to understand the terminology. So let's start with things. What is a transgender woman? Okay. God, that's also going to be so that's also a bit difficult, because transgender is got sort of not two definitions, but it's got sort of two gradients to it, I guess is probably the best way to put it. You can be sort of transgender, and if you're a transgender woman, it means that you were born to a biological body, and you suffer from dysphoria, so you don't feel like that body is the right gender for you, right? And so that's kind of like the first step. That's step one. Then sort of transsexual, which is kind of the next step, is when you go through the actual process of actually going through surgery and treatment, medical treatment, to make your body more like the gender that aligns with your brain. There's a way oversimplified, but that's what it is, right? And so there's two different things there, and I think people are kind of confusing the two, especially when it comes to athletes, because I see a lot of people, especially Rationality Rules and Joe Rogan, who he talks about at the end, and a bunch of other people who talk about this, that they did I break the live chat? You might have. Is that people in the comment section, people that I've talked to, keep trying to compare cisgender men to cisgender women, and then saying that this is a fair comparison to transgender women and biological women. These are not at all. I know, where is Micro when you need him, right? He knows biology. I know psychology, which brain is biological. It's just different aspects of it, right? And there is a lot of biology to be talked about here. And we'll talk about it. Hello, big brother. How are you? So that's kind of just terminology wise. We're gonna start there. That the fact that you can't, if you're gonna make this argument, you gotta actually compare apples to apples. You can't be comparing apples to oranges. You can't be comparing cisgender men to cisgender women in sports and say, look, men obviously have an advantage over women, therefore they have transgender women have an advantage over women. That's not how any of that works. Transgender women are different than men. That's what it's like. There's not much else I can do for it. That's just definitionally how it works. It's biologically how it would work, and we'll probably get into that, but they're not the same thing. And you can't say that they are the same thing. So, with that said, what did Piers... Okay, Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, is that your name? I don't know. Morgan something, whatever this guy's name is. Said something which I honestly... And I was really tempted to just start at this point, which is that he said something along the lines of they have an advantage, right? And that transgender women have an advantage. There are, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to sort of double back on it, but there are no studies demonstrating this. There just aren't any. They really just aren't any studies comparing transgender women versus cis women that finds that transgender women have an advantage in athletic sports. There just isn't any. And one of the things that I showed in my video is a study of studies on the subject, and this study on studies on the subject pretty much came to that conclusion. Actually, they came to a different conclusion, which is why I'm going to double back on things in a second. They came down to the conclusion that there is insufficient evidence to demonstrate that transgender women have an athletic advantage over cisgender women. This is, and the wording is different for a reason. Like, this isn't, I worded it that way for a reason, right? Is that there's a bit of a, like I said, I'm going to double back on this for a second, because there is one study that I know of done by Joanne Harper that actually compares runners transgender women runners versus cisgender women runners, compares them based on their age. And in this study, she found that trans women did not have an advantage over cis women. There are flaws with this study, which is why I say there aren't any. Like, this isn't a bad study, but there are flaws with this study. The flaws with this study are that there was a very, very small sample size. It was only 8 individuals. And the results for this study were all self-reported. So people self-reported their times, their running times, right? So there's problems with this study, which is why I say that there aren't any, but there is one. It's just there's flaws, but at the end of the day, that just means that there's more research to be done in this area. And what that means is that you cannot say that trans women have a advantage over cis women because there are no studies demonstrating that. You just can't make that statement. At least you can't make that statement and have anything to back it up. And if you can find a study, and trust me, I looked, if you can find a study that says this, that you can find a study that has compared transgender women versus cis women and has found that transgender women have an advantage over cis women, then I will gladly just, like, you are right, you got it. But until then, you don't have anything. But transgender women start as biological male, which leads to different distribution of muscle mass. Isn't that what leads to problem and questions? So again, yes, but you're once again you're comparing apples to oranges, because when you go through a transition process, of being biological men to being a transgender woman, when you go through that transition process, your biology changes a lot. God, I can't remember the hormones that you take. It's like HRT or something like that. I forget. I'm terrible at this job. When you do that, you have a lot of biological changes, and even again, the fact that there are these changes already tells you that you just can't compare these two groups of people. You can't compare a man who has not transitioned yet, even if he's a transgender female who hasn't transitioned yet, and then compare that to a cis female and say, look, he's got more advantage, because there is a change between when a non-transition transgender female has started transition to the end. There's a change there. Hormone replacement therapy. Thank you. Yeah. So it's not. There's been a change. There's been hormones. There's been surgeries. I mean, you get a lot of things, and one of the things that also Essence of Thought kind of brought up is you're kind of assuming that all transgender females transitioned after puberty, that they had a biological male body and then they transitioned. That is an assumption. That is not necessarily true. You can transition before puberty. There are such things as puberty blockers that stop you from going through puberty in the first place, and then you can go through puberty with the sex that aligns with your psychology, rather than the sex that aligns with your biology, or I shouldn't say biology, because your brain is biology. God damn it, I'm gonna stop doing that, because your brain is biology. That rather than going through the puberty of your dangly bits. So you're kind of by saying things like trans women start as biological male. Boys are different than men. So if you took a boy and then you stopped their puberty, so they never actually went and became, and again, I say this absolutely knowing that these terms are kind of socially constructs or whatever, and then they became a man, right? Got their secondary sex organs and muscles and all that nonsense. That person is very different than somebody who stopped at a boy and then went through hormone therapy and became a woman. Like, there's so much here, and it's all a little scary. Okay, no, but the question stated with the MMA fight who finds transition after puberty. Um, I I don't know where this question started. I honestly don't know where this question started. You could, like, I don't like. You could, and again, I'm not saying that all transgender women are started before puberty, but I'm also saying that not all of them started after puberty, right? This whole thing is not about individual cases. Individual cases get brought up because that's the only thing that people have as evidence that that transgender women in sports is a problem is individual cases. There are no data, there's no studies, there's nothing demonstrating that this is actually a problem. So again, something that I talked about in the video, there's nothing showing that this is actually a problem. There's cases, right? There's individual cases, but an anecdote, and the plural of anecdote is not data. There are anecdotes. There are cases of a transgender woman who does really well in a sport. But again, these are anecdotes. This isn't data. These are anecdotes. There's also women who do really well in this sport. Like that doesn't show anything to say, oh, there's this one MMA fighter who's really good. Doesn't really say anything about whether this is actually a problem or not. And again, I don't know which MMA fighter you're talking about, but I'm gonna absolutely guess, considering that a lot of these are rules set in by sports organization. Is that she went through hormone replacement therapy, and therefore her biology is now different than that of a man's. Like, even if she did go through puberty, even if we're going to stick to that, like, she went through puberty as a man and then switched afterwards, she still went through a whole other new, I call it a second puberty, where she's now biologically different than she was before. So you still got to compare the individual after this second puberty to a woman, rather than compare the one before the change. Like, there was a change that occurred. I recall the timeline. There was an aforementioned MMA fighter, and then we had trans girl and HG wrestler, both male going against girls, and both were unrivaled with generate the question. Okay. The argument makes me hope for humanity. The argument that trans people must be segregated. Yeah. The question is, there are already enough cases to actually statistically analyze as this case of transgender athletes, so rare that they can't do that and have to individual case studies. The question, oh, sorry, I have to reread that, Gio. The question is there already enough cases to actually do statistical analysis on this, or are the cases of transgender athletes so rare that you can't do that yet and have to do individual case studies? I mean, there might be enough cases that you can do a statistical analysis. I don't know how you would formulate. Well, I take that back. I think it's something that you probably have to do per sport, not that you could just do in general. You might be able to do a statistical analysis. You might. What I could foresee, how you could, I guess, do a statistical analysis on this, as I'm thinking, is you could try to measure the difference between a female woman and, you know, the woman who kind of won, right, and see if that difference in between the winner and the loser is statistically significantly different, right, over all transgender women. But that study doesn't exist. Like, you potentially could. It's just it doesn't exist, so you can't say anything about it. I feel like this is basic skepticism. We don't have the information, so to make a conclusion that trans women have an advantage is not based on evidence. I would love to see that evidence. I mean, not that I think that I don't think it doesn't exist. But I would love to see it, right? I would love to see it. If you have it, I would love to see a study showing this. But again, it doesn't exist. The one study that I know of says the opposite. Granted, it's a very flawed study, but that's the one that we have. And The other studies that we have is one studying studies on the subject, and they came to the conclusion that there's insufficient studies. Like, we don't know. It really is an area that we don't know. So you just can't make statements, fact statements about what if it's fair or unfair until you actually know. The sheer amount of bad faith actors and men made me really icky to talk about it. I think we're still at the individual case study, not with statistical analysis. That's fine. That's fine. If we might still be there. So one of the things, and give me a second, and I'd have to look it up, because Essence of Thought brought this up. There's this one woman, transgender woman, who was competing. I think it was some kind of running sport, right? And she was competing in this sport for quite a while, and losing. Like, she wasn't, like, not losing, but she wasn't getting first place for quite a while. And as she was kind of doing better at the sport, eventually she started winning and doing better than the female athletes in the same category as her. And it wasn't until she started winning that people started complaining. That in and of itself shows you that people are okay with transgender women being in a sport as long as they're not winning. As long as they're losing, people don't care. People are just like, whatever, you're losing, so we're not gonna care. It's the moment that you start winning. And I'm gonna look up the example. It was in Essence of Thought's video, and it's a pretty interesting example. So again, it's not like the fact that we're still at the case-to-case study, and the cases that we are picking to study shows you that there is a bias against transgender women. The fact that we are only focusing on those times where transgender women do really well, do we start questioning if they should be there? When they're doing terrible, people are like, or not terrible, but when they're not doing well, like, people are like, whatever, who cares, right? MMA fighter Fallon Fox transitioned when she was 31 years old, became a professional fighter 6 years later. Okay, great. Again, she went through. That's fine. These are all great facts to know, right? She transitioned. She's a 37-year-old, I guess. She was a 37-year-old fighter now. God, that's old. God damn. So she transitioned, but again, there was biological changes that happened. Hormone replacement therapy causes biological changes in you. You can't ignore those. You can say she's 43 now. That's very old. You just can't ignore that hormone replacement therapy causes physical changes in the human body. That's why it's done. It's not just done for funsies, right? You don't just go through hormone replacement therapy because it's a piece of tape you gotta cut to, red tape you gotta cut to be considered a woman. You do it because it causes biological changes, and you can't ignore that there are biological differences. So if you were to compare, what'd you say her name was? Fallon Fox, Fallon Fox. If you were to compare Fallon Fox, sorry, she's old. She's old for a fighter. Like, sports kind of, your prime for sports is kind of in your 20s. Anything after your 20s, you're kind of old to be doing a sport. Just look at Brett Favre. He was kind of old for doing a sport, and he was like 27 when he quit or some shit. Like, that's old. A HRT on a 14 to 15-year-old boy is going to have drastic difference. Not arguing with that. Sure, it will. But if you were to compare, the body of Fallon Fox before HRT and after HRT, there would be biological differences between them. And that's what I'm saying. That's why people go through it. There are biological differences between these two groups of people. I'm not saying that if you started earlier, there aren't different changes. Like, yeah, sure. If you, like I just mentioned, if you can start earlier, you can start at, you can start with hormone blockers before you even go through puberty, and then you have very different changes than as if you would have started after puberty. That's not, no one's disputing these facts. The only thing I'm disputing is that there is a difference between a transgender woman before hormone replacement therapy and after hormone replacement therapy, and a lot of people are ignoring the fact that there are biological differences there, and they are simply saying, no, there aren't biological differences, which really makes me wonder, the fuck is hormone replacement therapy for if there aren't any physical biological differences between when you first started and when you end it? That's also, again, not supported by science. There are physical differences between starting it and ending it, and you cannot ignore those when you're trying to talk about transgender women in sports. You cannot ignore what they've been through, this treatment that they've been to, and then pretend as if they hadn't been to, and compare 31-year-old Fallon Fox versus a 31-year-old female MMA fighter and say, look, it's unfair. You're not. No shit, it's unfair. But that's not who Fallon Fox is anymore. Fallon Fox is not 31-year-old Fallon without hormone replacement therapy. Fallon Fox now is whatever age she is after hormone replacement therapy. And those are the two people you should be comparing. Tom Brady is still a shit, is he really? I don't know who that is. Careful with my words, says you. There's a lot of words in here. No shit, it's unfair. Yeah, but you're not who. Yeah, you. So the argument about unfairness is a 31-year-old man, cisgender man versus a 31 cisgender women is unfair. Yeah, that's. No one is arguing that that's unfair, but that is not the same thing. I'm gonna have to repeat this like over and over and over again. A transgender woman is not a man. They are not the same thing, and you are confusing those two terms. You are confusing a cisgender man with a transgender woman. They are not the same thing. You are not comparing apples to apples if you are saying that a transgender woman is the same thing as a man. No, they are not. There are biological differences between these two categories of people or whatever. And you are you are literally wrong about comparing them together. Which is the problem. Which is the problem that not everyone, that I see the most, is people want to compare men to women and say, look, it's unfair. No one is arguing that. What everyone is arguing is transgender women versus women. You're face palming, and I would really like to know why you're face palming. And I will read some of the chat while I drink. Okay. The whole discussion has a problem that it ignores that nobody actually transitions to be able to compare the wrong gender bracket. So the segregation proponents are punishing them for an unrelated biological condition, the dysphoria that was treated by transition. Yes. Can we all agree that at least we should have a random person from the audience compete in Olympic events for comparison? I'm okay with that. I remember I was so bad at 100 sprint in school that my teacher was not allowed to give me an F because it was too bad. Oh, that's fine. It's just like a glacier. Yeah. I wasn't. I did the long running one. I did cross country. I didn't do short running. I'm still probably not good at short running stuff, but long running stuff I can do pretty well. Okay. So listen to a little bit more. We don't have to take a break right away. I've said a lot and watched very little. Shorter and Softer. Hello, when will you make a spin-off called Shorter and Softer? Quickies. Quickies are the spin-off. Well, no, this is the spin-off of Quickies. That's how this whole thing started. Russian Saryov. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It started with Quickies, and then we had the stream, and so we had Longer and Harder. So we have Quickies and Longer and Harder. It's a degree of change. Rhetoric&Discourse. A post-puberty man will experience less of physical change in 6 years than a pre-pubertal will over 6 years. That had less to the question of fairness in professional sports for transgender athletes. Again, show me a study. This is going to be the thing that I repeat like over and over and over again. Show me a study that shows that transgender women who have, and I'll make it even more specific, who have gone through hormone replacement therapy have an advantage over women. Find me that study, because that is the question that is being asked, and I would love, 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 love to see that study. There have been enough athletes for the study you're asking for. Sure, where is the study? You are taking, you have found something that you there haven't been, oh sorry, there have not been enough. That is not my fault. The fact that there aren't enough, that there isn't a big enough sample size is not my fault, and it's not transgender women's fault, and it's not and they shouldn't be punished for the fact that there aren't, that nobody has bothered to study them. Like, you are getting mad at the wrong people for this. Like, why have not been? Yes. Like, why is it their fault that there isn't enough? Like, you are making a claim. You're making a claim that transgender women have an advantage. Fine. There's your claim. Back it up. Like, this is very simple skepticism. This is very simple, you know, trying scientist thinking. This is very, very, very simple. You make a claim, back it up. That's it. That's all we're asking for. But to hand wave a few cases because the lack of other cases is to miss the issue at hand. No, there is no evidence that there is an issue at hand. Again, to say that there's an issue at hand, that's another claim. Back it up. Back up this claim that this is an issue. Back up, well, okay, I shouldn't say that. Back up the claim that this is an actual issue, as in, like, in the way that, like, Rationality Rules put it. Because the way that he put it was that somehow sports are kind of, women's sports are doomed, right? Like, very catastrophizing, very end of the world scenario kind of thing for women's sports here. Show me statistics showing that transgender women are taking over sports and destroying women, Adam. Like, show me that study too. Like, all I'm asking for is for you to back up the claims that you are making. And I feel like that's not a very what's the right word? I feel like I'm not asking that much of you, right? I feel like I'm not asking that much of anyone. I'm just asking you to back up your claims. If you're gonna make a claim, back it up. I made a claim. I made this claim a couple of times already. I've made a claim that there is insufficient evidence to suggest that this is something that is a problem. That there's insufficient evidence to show that transgender women have an advantage over women. I have made that claim, and I have backed that claim up with a study that concludes that there is insufficient evidence to suggest that transgender women have an advantage over biological women. That's how that works. You make a claim, you back it up. That's all I'm asking for, is for you to back up your claims. So you want the medical studies showing that variance in effectiveness are actually across age groups. If you think that that's one of the things that'll no, I want a study showing that transgender women have an advantage over biological women. That's what I'm looking for, because that's the claim being made, right? I'm not arguing with that claim. That claim, you probably have one of those. That's fine. I want a study showing the thing that Rationality Rules put on as the title of his video. Back it up. That's it. Like, that's it. I just want that back up. Oh, okay. One time I found myself 6 feet from a diamond bag. Ooh. 30 seconds later, I was 20 feet away. 30 seconds later, I was 100 feet away. Yay! That's some good motivation to run. Why is it bad if they are better at sports? Do we ban Gary Cooper? Yes. It's just because he's too good, or Serena Williams for playing tennis, Michael Schumacher for race car driving. Records are going to be broken. Records are going to be perpetual. Well, I would hope so. There might be kind of a plateau, or, you know, a singularity of human ability. But records are going to get broken. New women will show up to break those records. New men will show up to break other records. It's just how it's going to happen. If you can have a Usain Bolt that has biological, it is his chosen sport. What? I think I missed a comment somewhere. I think the only thing to do here is wait until the sample size is big enough to actually do statistics on the that actually hold some weight, especially in weightlifting. Yes, there is a claim to be made, but we must be agnostic to the issue until such studies are conducted on a larger sample size. Let's compare hemoglobin levels, for example. That's one thing that's one thing you could compare. And I'm gonna have to go find. I know what you're talking about, and there's already been studies. There's actually been studies that hemoglobin levels drop quite a bit once you transition. So that one's one that does exist, and I will try to find it because I'm making claims and I'm going to back them up, but I'm going to try to find them once we go on a break. So note to self: find study on hemoglobin. I know where to find it, I just don't have it. Find study on hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Okay. And by the time the study can be performed, CRISPRs have been implanted to use the humans, and female athletes can have themselves improved. And then, yeah, that's true. That is part of the puzzle, because the studies are pointedly asking for those not to exist. So you have to use ancillary studies about the changes due to these therapies. Okay. But again, there's, again... Finding where the poke called blood, it sounds creepy. Heart size capacity, again, you so what you have, Jared, what you have the literature review for a study, right? You have done the studies, or you have found the studies, and the studies have been done so that you can have a hypothesis, and your hypothesis is transgender women have an advantage over biological women. That is your hypothesis, and that's fine to have. You can have that as your hypothesis all you want, but to claim that it's anything but a hypothesis is where I take issue, right? You can say, look, we have all these studies that suggest that this might be true. That is saying one thing. That is saying you've done your literature review, you understand that this is what one would expect. According to what, to you, this is what one would expect if we were to compare these two groups. But these two groups haven't been compared, so you cannot go past a hypothesis with this. You are skipping a whole lot of steps in the scientific method. You're skipping most of them. You've observed and you've found a hypothesis. You haven't run the study, and until you do, you really can't claim anything else, right? Why it is a question. Okay, but I'm so this is why it's a question. I'm trying to explain why it is a question. So I guess my problem there isn't with you necessarily asking that question, right? You can ask that question, but there's obviously Rationality Rules, the video that we're watching, and many others, right? Not just him, many others who have already skipped that. So they aren't stopping. If you're gonna stop there, if you're gonna stop at this is my question, this is why this question exists, then fine. But there are plenty of people who aren't stopping there. There are plenty of people who are entirely jumping on the no, because of these reasons we should ban trans women from being in sport. That is what I have a problem with. If you are going to stop there and say I don't know, that's fine. Stop there then. Like, I have no argument. I have no contention against you. It's people who are not stopping there. People like Rationality Rules who refuse to stop at the fact that they have a hypothesis, but instead make further claims based off of it. And all I am asking of them is to back up their claim. And that's really what I want. It is also a field of dire discrimination and vilification of people who already suffered under psychological component and gender identity. Yes, so that's what we can sort of put that aside for a second, there's sort of also a problem with the way that this issue is being tackled, which is to vilify transgender women and vilify them, to pretend that they are the bad guys. It's their fault that, you know, poor Selena Gomez, or Selena, whatever the hell her name was, couldn't get this her scholarship. It's those damn transgender people taking all those taking all the jobs from biological women. Like, that's pretty much what the argument was, and that's bullshit right there. I'm not saying that there is an answer yet, but we have to understand why the question was formed. Sure. That's why the question is formed, sure, but again, I have no problem with that. I just mostly have a problem with people who have already made up their minds. I agree, there are tons of shitheads that are jumping to conclusions. I'm not one of them. Good to know. No, this is because of biological prerequisites. If a trans woman is more likely to have a higher muscle mass, for example, where that's important. For example, weighing or javelin or whatever, then that's the issue. An issue that, for some reason, why are separate competition for men and women? Because there are biological differences. There's a difference between the average trans woman and average. And this is what we need to find out. Yes, it is what we need to find out, but we don't know it. Like, that's it. We just simply don't know. That is something that you can ask a question, and I think you can sincerely ask that question. Okay, couldn't the solution be to make a group for trans people? That's like, honestly, that's like saying, why do black people need to use the same water fountain as I do? Right? Why can't they just be happy in their water fountain? It's not equality. That's the same kind of question. That's not how equality works. Separate but equal is not a thing. Transgender women are women, and if we're gonna say that women are allowed to participate in this, women are allowed to participate in this one sport, but we deny trans women the right to do that, then you're not. How is that remotely equality? I wonder how that's equality. Separate but equal is not a solution. Okay. Yeah. So at the end of the day, there really isn't, like, God, this is really the issue that I have with this. There's aren't studies. There's insufficient evidence to suggest any of the things that to suggest a conclusion that Rationality Rules comes to, which is the title of his video, The Athletic Advantage to Transgender Women. That doesn't exist. Trans women are biologically different from women. Not how, I guess. How, I guess, would be my question. I'm not sure I agree with that. Okay, with that, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go find that study. What did I say? Find the study on hemoglobin. I'm gonna go find the study on hemoglobin. We'll be back to yell at each other some more. Love you all. Then I'm gonna yell at you all some more. Enjoy some fan art, some music, and whatnots, and I will be back in a little bit.
top to beyond the clouds. No looking back until I get the crown.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Thank you, Gavin. You're the best. Someone's got to do the job. Okay. Someone's going to do my job. All right. Before I went on a break, I left myself a note saying that I should find the study on hemoglobin. I did. It exists. There it is. Google that. Google interpreting laboratory results in transgender patients on hormone therapy. And you can Google it yourself. I'm not going to show it on screen because that requires me to mostly kill my computer because my computer is old and crap. So pretty much what they did. Let's read the abstracty bit for you for a second, right? Clinical guidelines recommend laboratory monitoring of transgender persons or cross-sex hormone therapy, but gender-specific reference intervals leave clinicians with the dilemma of deciding what is normal for each patient. The goal of this study was to identify consistent changes in measurements with hormone therapy and determine which reference intervals are appropriate. Method. Laboratory data was abstracted from the medical records of 55 male to female patients on hormone therapy and compared with 20 male and 20 female non-transgender subjects. The results. Hemoglobin, hematocrit, and low-density type, this is lipoprotein resemble female values with a p-value of 0.005. That means it's significant. While alkaline phosphate, potassium, and creatine resemble male values, triglycerides were higher than either male or female groups. The remainder measurements showed no difference. So, hemoglobin and blood things. That was the question. Is there a difference statistically significant? The study found that the male to females going through hormone replacement therapy have roughly the same amount as female who have not gone through hormone replacement therapy. So yeah, they're about the same. Statistically significant. There's a study you can read if you don't believe me. There we go. That was easy. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of comments here. Should I read them all? Should I try to read them? I'll try to read some. There's a lot, though. Okay. Gosh, maybe I won't, because there's a lot. Maybe we'll just listen to a little bit more of this. Yeah, we'll just listen to a little bit of... Oh, I gotta put on things. And actually click on the right things. I'm a mess. Just put some zebras and stallions and some jennies and let nature take over. Dear server, that is not the sound. This is just no, it's not just you with no sound. Okay.
That is not fair
and equal.
It's not. It's unfair and unequal. No one's disputing their right to identify as a woman. What I'm disputing is their right to identify as a woman and then unfairly compete against women born to female biological bodies. That is the debate. Yeah, it's not about being anti-transgender.
There are many topics that peers more...
So, should we talk... I don't want to, but I feel like I need to just also get this one out of the way. Sorry, I spilled beer on my Rubik's Cube, and I don't want it to dry and get sticky. I'll let you guys tell me how much you really want me to talk about why I think Rationality Rules is a bigot. You will tell me if you want my opinion on that, because I don't want to talk about it, but I do. But I also know you all don't want me to talk about it.
Morgan and I could lock horns on, but this isn't one of them. This debate, this video, is about women's sport and what constitutes fair competition. It's not about whether or not transgender people should be allowed to use certain bathrooms or if they should be able to join gender-specific non-competitive clubs.
Let's do a Google Map search of Zonky. You want to move on to oh, you had a question, an A, and I didn't answer because I left. Maybe I'll read your comment. There's somewhere in here. If you guys are tired of this, and I feel like I've kind of, because I feel like most of this will either be calling Rationality Rules a bigot, and me repeating the same line over again about how there are no studies that actually show the thing that people say that it's supposed to show. So, yeah, we can either continue this or we can switch to another video. You're fine. I don't care. I know that somebody, we can move on. Sorry, I lost your question a bit ago, and sorry, I left. If you want to ask it again, I will gladly answer, but I left to, drink. I stopped listening to the chat giving Google recommendation of blue waffle, and trust me, you do not want to Google that. Don't Google that. I'm not gonna say this is too much opinion based. I think what's left is very opinion based, right? Like, I think whatever I have to say at this point is going to be very opinion based. If we talk about like why I think that Rationality Rules is a bigot and why I think that the rhetoric that he uses is bigoted, that is probably going to be more opinion based. I don't think the subject in and of itself is opinion based, because the subject is actually based very heavily in science. It's just that a lot of people are not liking what the science says, and so they just deny that it says what it does. Like I said, the hemoglobin study that was brought up earlier, where somebody said that actually, I think Rationality Rules says that too. He says that like later in the video, where he says that maybe I can find that part, because that actually relates to the study that I found. Bacon, Canadian, real bacon or ham? Yeah, that's not opinion based. He says it somewhere. He quotes somebody. No. Huh. Sorry if I'm skipping around, but he does quote. He quotes some athletic. There it is. Aha. He quotes this guy. So, which I think is where the hemoglobin thing came in. I think, which is the most. So he cites this guy, and I guess I can have you read it. Will you let me?
If I took estrogen, I'd still have these. And that's not fair. Yeah. It's just not. I don't care.
Joe Rogan. Sorry, I'm also going to say fuck off to Joe Rogan. He's a piece of shit.
What anybody says.
Now, I could continue on this for hours, but for the sake of brevity, I'll keep things short by emphasising just one of the advantages that men have over women. When asked why men outperform women in most athletic events, Jamie Pringle, a physiologist who's trained many Olympic champions, said the following. The most consistent observation about the difference is that women have lower total mass of hemoglobin in their blood compared to men, and less blood in total. This means less capacity to transport oxygen in the blood, which, when combined with the heart's ability to pump that blood, and the muscles' capacity to extract the oxygen from it, is a key determinant of aerobic fitness and endurance.
There we go. Claim made. Again. The same issue, which is why this is probably going to get incredibly repetitive and annoying. We could go on to number 6. I like that plan. We might vote again here in a second. I'm gonna get this hemoglobin thing done with, and then we can vote on another video. I have no problem with that. Claim made. Well, one, claim is stupid, because again, idiot tits over here. And I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of upset, but again, we're comparing men to women. The most consistent observation about differences is that women have lower total mass of hemoglobin. Yeah, women have lower total mass of hemoglobin in their blood compared to men. So again, problem. Comparing men to women, not comparing transgender women to women. Apples to apples, guys. This is all I'm asking for, is apples to apples. And also wrong. Also very, very wrong by the study that I cited. The study I'll stick back in the chat. which did not conclude that, which concluded that in their experiment that the hemoglobin found in transgender women was around the same range, statistically significantly around the same range as biological women. So not even right. So the guy that Rationality Rules cites is wrong. Like the science doesn't back it up, which is why this is less of an opinion thing and more of a science thing. The science says one thing. It says that transgender women who have gone through hormone replacement therapy have around the same hemoglobin as women, biological women, who have not gone through hormone replacement therapy. There, done. See? Simple. Would you like to switch to a different topic? I do not mind, and I understand why people might want to. So, I'm going to give us a chance to do that. I might read through things a little bit here while we talk. Is Canadian bacon real bacon? No. Canadians don't know what real bacon is, and that's okay. They're not, you know, they're Canadians. They don't know any better. Give them a break. Give them a break. They are super nice to people, though, which is kind of nice. Which is kind of nice. I will say. Oh yeah, how's your submarine? Speaking of digging around, I've got a submarine haunting my brain, trying to design. This left me with how to make a spinner. Oh, hello, Fletcher Izzo. How are you? I didn't get to say hi to you. You were kind of hiding there. Are you building a submarine in can you please finally cover the video I sent you? Where is Fartard? Yes. Okay. We want to switch videos. Can I cover the video you sent me? No, because that's not on the list and I don't have it downloaded. How about this? I'll add it. Look, I'm gonna grab the handy dandy notebook that reminded me to look up the study of hemoglobin, and I'm gonna add Geo's video. There we go, Geo. You'll get a video. But Canadians broil their bacon in maple syrup, so it's candid. I know which video it is. I know what it is. I don't have it. Can we discuss 200 proofs video from Monday? that was an excellent set of proofs there. Hobbs had a tad bit of performance anxiety, but I think he did pretty well. I actually had a lot of fun with that one. I hope people were having fun. All right, so there's the poll. Vote on things, guys. The jaywalking one. It was the jaywalking one. Vote on things. Upside down eye. Vote number. If you vote for 7, you're wasting your vote. So don't vote for 7. Up there. Germans don't care about voting. Who's surprised? No one. So yeah, and it looks like Jared has left, which is fine. I hope he didn't leave in a huff. I didn't mean to piss him off, but I also not gonna sit here and let stupid things not be counteracted. So I don't mean to piss you off, Jared, but what up, pair of heads, rock soup believers? Hey, how's it going, Igor? How are you? Okay, how to grab lunch? Okay, well, welcome back. We're gonna be all done talking about things, so welcome back. 69. I see what you did there. I was surprised that I was out so fast until I saw it. Out so fast. Yeah. No, but legitimately, no lie, the next debate video will be out next Sunday. I promise. It has been exported. I have it. I just have to upload it to YouTube. NA and Ugly German Truths can probably attest to the fact that it already exists, because they hopefully have seen it already. I would hope. So that's it. 6 frames boggles me. I need to hear opinion about game design. Yeah, I'm gonna be very curious about that one. I know that people, like I got nothing. You like your difficult games, go for it. You like easy games, go for it. I don't understand why this is a problem. I don't understand why people care, but people care enough to make videos about it. I understand. I take it back. I understand why people make videos about it, because you can make quite a bit of money overreacting to benign shit on the internets. Speaking of overreacting to benign shits on the internets, I haven't watched this yet, and I'm sure that it's absolute garbage, and I'm sorry that if you're a fan of him, but Armored Skeptic did put out a review video for Captain Marvel. I'm sure it's complete and utter garbage, and it's just more reactionary bullshit about Captain Marvel, which, by the way, was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to watching her in Endgame. I think that's going to be fantastic. So I'm sure there aren't any. I'm sure that's not unbiased at all. RTS games should punish you in the beginning. Oh goodness. Easy games for the weak. Oh, the people playing hard games were the ones that actually survived as humans in the olden days. Yeah, Captain Marvel did get box office cred because it's really good. It really is very good. Oh no, there's those were the ones that were sent out to get eaten by saber-toothed cats while the rest of the tribe survived. It's pretty true. Yeah, no, Captain Marvel did really well. Probably because it's really good. I don't think it works, Gio. You're not doing anything. Probably because it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I would go see it again. I'll wait for Captain Mars for on streaming. God, if you want to go see Avengers Endgame, I would not hold off on Captain Marvel. No, if you want to go see Endgame, I would go watch Captain Marvel. I think it's worth watching it. But I have to vote blindly. But I mean, it's good. I don't think it's one that you have to wait for it to be streaming. I think it's genuinely a good movie. So, we are voting for number 6 again. We want, honestly, if number 6 wins again, you know what? I'm gonna force you all to listen to my dumb opinions about things. So that's a thing. Nobody has votes. What is this? No one has voted. Huh. I don't know what to tell you guys. This poll is gonna get closed, and Streamlabs is having a hard time here, and no one has voted, so we might be stuck with more Rationality Rules just out of the sheer stupidity of Streamlabs. Oh no! Sorry, that's not. I promise I didn't. I promise I didn't do that. We might go with number 6 because I feel like I saw. Okay, because I feel like I saw 6 the most. But okay, we're gonna. Okay, can I close? Something went wrong. I know something went wrong. Well, something went wrong. So try again. I don't know what went wrong. This is all Streamlabs' fault, not me. I'm a genuinely good at my job. I am genuinely good at my job. I don't know what happened there. Honestly, you keep voting 7, and we will get there. I think Gio's breaking it. No, I think it's just broken. None of these votes are going through, honestly. Yep. Streamlabs are working. We're going to do number 6. We're just going to do number 6. How about that? Because apparently Streamlabs is broken. We're just going to do number 6. I know somebody said they wanted to do number 6. I think it was Sean. Sean, just for you, we're going to do number 6. And for no one else. Screw the opinion of the rest of you. Sean wins. I obviously like him better than all of you. This one. There we go.
How's it going, everyone? Sean.
Oh, shut up. Okay, we're gonna do number 6 just because I don't know what's going on here. Everything is broken. Streamlabs is broken. You can feel free to complain to them about it. Can you show which videos to vote for? That would also help. But yeah, we give it up. We give it up. Next time I try the first to show the choices, maybe. Why didn't anyone say anything about now? You're using Streamlabs. That's part of the problem. That is probably like 90% of the problem. Okay. So, Let's actually show. That is a video. Okay, great, wonderful. Something is being done right. This is some random ass individual on the internet. Says he has a channel called Forge Labs. It was mentioned without the tag. Yeah, if you mention it without the tag, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. Okay, but Sean wins. So Sean, here you go. Just for you, Sean. You still better be here. Okay. This is a dude. Let's see what he's got to say.
Here, I'm a little bit sick right now, so you'll have to excuse my lack of enthusiasm.
LaForge Labs. Yeah, LaForge Labs.
For this one. So I stumbled across this article on Twitter recently. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice needs to respect its players and add an easy mode.
So, $5 says that this guy gets all confuzzled by the clickbaity title of the article. I'm gonna go with that. He looks like Harry Potter was taken back in time to 1980s. The Windows 7 calculator couldn't do cube root of 27, but Windows 10 calculator can. Wow, that is like the one good feature of Windows 10. Geo, why isn't this advertised? Like, hey, look, Windows 10 can be useful. It can do the square root of negative 27. The one useful thing it can do, because Windows suck. Mostly I'm mad because I was taking data earlier. So, okay, let's get derailed for a second. I was taking data for my class, for my final project, and the way that I take data is that I use my computer. We have a program that we use at work to keep track of behavior data, right? So I decided to use it for school because it makes life easy, right? I was like half an hour into observing one cat when my computer just crashed. It just shut down and crashed, and I lost all my data. Then I had to start all over again, which is why we were kind of slightly very late to starting the show, was because I was trying to get one last like observation in before I started the show, and why there is no beer of the week. So it's Windows 10's fault that there is no beer of the week. It's entirely their fault. Windows 10 is better than OS X. I doubt it. Sincerely doubt it. Mostly because no. Okay. Here we go.
From Forbes that was written by Dave there. It's been causing quite the stir on Twitter, by the way. If you want to follow me, my username on Twitter is @ForgeLabs. I'll have a link in the description. You don't need to, but if you want to, you can follow me. Anyways, the article is about the overwhelming difficulty in games from Software, with specific emphasis on Sekiro Die Twice, or Shadows Die Twice, sorry. And
I must say, COD 4 was a pretty awesome game. Which one was COD 4? Was that Modern Warfare? Get to your point, games. Yeah, I don't know. He's got to plug himself. Hey, go follow me on Twitter.
How the addition of an easy mode would greatly benefit the game and its player.
Modern Warfare was really good. Not gonna lie. That is the only Call of Duty game that I like, is Modern Warfare. I don't remember liking any of the other ones besides Modern Warfare. I thought that one was really, really good. Like everything else was just kind of crap afterwards. Like so there was, like, I remember this from the Modern Warfare 2, I think it was, or 3, I forget which one it was, but like in Modern Warfare, which was really good. There was that one, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old game. There was that one scene where you escape in a helicopter, and you escape like a nuclear blast, but then end up dying from fallout, and your helicopter crashes, and you actually still kind of control your character for a bit before he dies. Same thing with like the intro, where you get like shot in the head like right off the bat in the intro. Again, spoiler alert for a very old game. Those were genuinely great parts of that game, which is why like when they did the sequels, like what is it, the second one or the third one, I forget which one, had like 3 versions of the same like thing happening. Because we all know that, you know, if it worked once in the game last time, if you put more of the same thing, it automatically makes the game better. And that's when I realized that Call of Duty was soulless and it didn't understand what it had done in Modern Warfare. And it was just like, no, we repeat it over and over again and it'll be great. That's Modern Warfare 1, the last mission of the first chapter. It sounds about right. Call of Duty 4 is from 2017. Yeah, 20 years ago. It's fine. All right, there we go.
More specifically, that by not adding easy mode, From Software is essentially disrespecting its player base.
Hey, look, he is confused. He's very confused. God, he's so confused. God, those clickbaity articles. Also, hey, I had it open. Shit, I'm gonna have to reopen it. I actually had the article open because I figured this asshole would get confused by clickbaity articles. And he is. Why did you send me that video? I can disagree with the assessment, Geostripper. What? Because I'm dangerous psychopath with long history of sadism. Okay. What's Eager up to? I missed a day when I had an actual arguments, but reverted to kindergarten and just have insults now. Even you know the earth is flat, motionless, and fake, and friends lied about everything. Eager, come on the show. Stop being such a wimp about it. Come on the show. You can have a debate. You can have a debate with a guy with a microphone who controls the chat. You can talk to him about it. Like this is all on you. Don't be blaming NA for any of this nonsense. This is all on you. You can have this. There was one game for 22 years ago that beats Call of Duty in the ass though. Was it Doom? I bet it was Doom. I'm easily duped by the occasional kindness to a streamer. Okay. Let me see if I can open up this article because again, you were very confused, my friend, by clickbaity titles. They're clickbaity for a reason because people like you because of people like you.
I thought the topic was rather interesting given my history with games. If you've spent any amount of time on this channel or watched specifically one of my gameplay videos, you'll know how dog shit I am at video games, which by the way is only because I spent like 12 years straight forging in Halo. So
sorry, this guy's boring.
I think that has a lot to do with why I'm not that good. Anyways, I think I'm in a good position to discuss this topic because up until recently, until I played Sekiro, I avoided games from Software like the plague. I didn't want to go anywhere near Dark Souls. I played a tiny bit of Bloodborne, and I was put off by them. I thought they were just too difficult for me, so they weren't games that were meant for someone like me, so I just moved on. But then when I tried playing Sekiro, in a recent video I posted, you can pinpoint the exact moment where I understood the appeal of the game.
I've got him. I've got him. I did it. Oh my god, I did it. Oh my god. Wow.
I regret your choice, Sean. I regret your choice. This is really boring. Blue Blood was really good. Why do you lie? Nobody knows the earth is flat, but some people with little knowledge of physics delude themselves into believing it. That's true, Eager. So is he against easy mode? I think so.
That feels so good. I know that wasn't a boss, but wow, that feels good. That is so satisfying. Okay, all right, I understand why people like Dark Souls games now. I get it.
By the way, if you want to watch that full video, it's what I'm referring to as an on-the-fly review. I'll have a link to it in the description. I think YouTube kind of shat the bed with that one because that video has like 6,000 views, and a video just like a week before or 2 weeks before has 100,000 views. So I don't know what. Maybe people aren't interested. I don't know.
Yes, people don't like your videos. Sorry,
this guy's really boring. In case you are. I'm getting so far off topic. So this article by Dave there suggests that Sekiro and games like Sekiro should have an easy mode. Quote, these games have achieved a kind of cult status in certain corners of the gaming community where people use them as a kind of litmus test for whether someone is a true gamer or a filthy casual. The fact that these games don't have any difficulty settings means that only a certain sort of player with time, inclination, reaction speed, and lack of physical issues will ever see the final boss fight anywhere but on Twitch. This is a problem. I believe that David...
Okay. The only question is why. The existence of easy mode does not take anything away from hard games. It's just an idiotic as people are afraid of marriage quality. That is actually that's actually a very apt comparison. It is. Yeah, he is against easy mode. I've been oh, my computer's gonna die soon. That's okay. The show will end before it does. So yeah, that's his thing. I don't understand why. I guess we'll talk about it.
Is mistaken here, or at the very least misguided as to what it is that makes these games appealing to the people who play them. It isn't that they're leveraging the difficulty of the games as he puts it, a quote litmus test for whether someone is a true gamer or a filthy casual, but rather the difficulty is what makes these games great.
So let's quoting from the article that he's actually talking about. Okay. Called status. Sorry, I'm trying to find this section because I did read this. Here we go. And I'll try to show it, I guess, because I can. Because I can, we will try to show this to everyone, so everyone can enjoy the wonders of the internet together. Because why not, right? Because why not? There we go. My problem with these is that I don't think I've written any of these articles if I didn't like them so much. There are other difficult games I won't play and whatever, but the difficulty is only one part of what defines these games for me. And honestly, it's not the most important part. From Software has some of the best world building in the business, and I would argue the best character design. Early on in Sekiro, I had to sneak under a bridge where I found this bizarre, misshapen hermit man that lunged at me with a wicked knife from underneath a broad straw hat. It was gross and strange, the sort of thing you can almost smell. The first glimpse I had to the malformed underbelly of this world, I had only taken my first steps into. So, Mr. Gamerman, the actual argument that the guy is making is that a lot of these games, like sorry, I'm trying to find your video. Where is your video? Anyway, there it is. Is that a lot of these games are more than just their difficulty. Like the difficulty is part of it, and that's fine. It can be part of your game. There's nothing wrong with that. But that they are really good at doing a lot of other things. Hey! I'm going to another ride for a few minutes. What about you? Oh, I want to go for a ride. I miss riding. I can, I guess. It's kind of nice out. Okay. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's listen to a little bit more. No. Come here. Sorry if my screens are
The challenge isn't just some simple gimmick, but an integral part of the game's design that pushes you to play better and understand the game's mechanics. Most rational people who enjoy these games aren't playing them to achieve true gamer status, but instead to chase the feeling of extreme satisfaction of finally completing an overwhelmingly difficult boss.
I mean, sure, but the writer didn't say that that's why people, he said that people use it like that. He didn't say that that's why people do it. You're kind of, what kind of bike do you have? I have a Yamaha R6. That's great. I love it. You know, a motorcycle, not a pedal bike. Nobody writes those. Games cost too much money to be exclusive for consumers. You do not get to find out in the store if your computer, the game, see every level, see where it's got to. Yeah, I genuinely have no problem. Like, it's one of those things that it genuinely doesn't, like, it doesn't take away from anyone else's enjoyment to add an easy mode for this, right? So I don't understand the argument. I want to listen to more of what he's actually going to say. So far, he's saying a bunch of nonsense about how gamers don't just play this game because it's hard. They just play it because it's hard. Seems to be his argument. Like, they don't play it because it's hard. They play it to overcome a difficult situation, and that feels good, which is they play it because it's hard. And that's fine. You're allowed to do that. Okay.
That's what the appeal is, not trying to prove themselves worthy of some superficial title that no one who actually plays video games cares about.
You're an idiot. No, because people do care about superficial titles. People do care about whether you're a real gamer. There is definitely gatekeepers to being a real gamer. The fuck is wrong with you? What part of the internet have you lived in? Oh, goodness.
Quote, the difficulty is only one part of what
Oh,
defines these games for me, and honestly, it's not the most important part. From Software has some of the best world building in the business, and I would argue the best character design. Early on in Sekiro, I had to sneak under a bridge where I found this bizarre, misshapen hermit man that lunged at me with a wicked knife from underneath a broad straw.
Okay, so let's. I just realized this, but because you said something really stupid, my Harry Potter looking friend, I feel like I need to comment on it now. You just said that it doesn't gamers aren't playing From Software games, right? They're not playing Sekiro or Bloodborne or whatever for some title that people who play these games don't even care about, right? If that's the case, that's fine. If that's the case, then why does it matter if there's an easy mode, right? If you're not playing it to say, hey, I beat Sekiro, or I beat Bloodborne, or whatever, I beat this game. If you're not doing it for that reason, then having an easy mode doesn't affect you, right? If you're just doing it for the challenge to yourself, then letting someone else have an easier time with it doesn't affect you. So your very argument, I'm gonna say is gonna be stupid. I really want to listen to this whole video.
It was gross and strange, the sort of thing you can almost smell. The first glimpse I had of the malformed underbelly of this world I had only taken my first steps into. And I want to reiterate because it's important, but the challenge in this game, the difficulty, is not a gimmick. It's crucial to the game's design. Every fight, every enemy, every encounter is designed in a way that's meant to be repeated, but not repetitive. And that is no simple feat. If you break down a boss fight in this game, the ogre for example, there's a lot going on that perfectly illustrates how the difficulty factors into the game's design. The ogre, and many other enemies for that matter, require 2 killing blows to take down, which pairs nicely with the fact that you have a second revive. I'd argue that's a pretty big assist, by the way. Anyways, so suddenly you need to pace out your fights with that in mind. The game assumes that you're going to die during a fight, so it's up to you, the player, to figure out how you want to do that in a way that benefits you. You need to be aware of when you have a revive or sometimes two. It allows you to play riskier in certain parts of the fight and play defensively when you're out of lives. If the game was easier, you wouldn't have to worry about pacing out your revives or landing 2 killing blows on the ogre or knowing when to attack and when to play defensive.
No shit, Sherlock. Oh goodness, my computer died, so I don't know what the chat is saying. Hopefully things that are nice. Oh god, no shit, Sherlock. If you, oh, I hit the wrong button. If a game is easier, it's easier. That's pretty much what you're saying. I would really like for you to actually get to your point about why you think that this shouldn't be allowed. Like what it takes away from you, right? From people who aren't playing on easy mode. What it takes away from you that someone else is playing it on easy mode. I would very much so like that, instead of just saying, look, if it's easy, it's easy. Like, yeah, no, if it's easy, it is easy. That's a hell of a statement, my friend. Sorry, chat, I lost you, so we're gonna listen to a little bit more of this while I get the chat back up.
And you wouldn't get the same sense of achievement for overcoming obstacles. And furthermore, dying twice in this game and dying repeatedly is part of the story too. So if you remove that, it also deteriorates the story that this game is telling. So as for character design, world building, and just environmental design, that is incredibly alluring to someone like me. In my playthrough, when I encountered that disgusting creature you described, I was very excited by it too.
What is that thing? Is that a person? What is that? What the hell is that thing? Oh, it's... Oh. It's like a... I can't even see what it looks like. Oh. I love the character design in this game. It's one of the first things that I found attractive when I saw the trailer, was that it wasn't just fighting humanoids. I mean, it's kind of a humanoid, but they're cool monster designs, and I love that in games.
The game shows you that little hermit man and says, look, if you can get past this challenge, I'm going to show you more hermit men. And to me, that's so exciting. So
I don't think I picked a good sample for this. I also don't know why YouTube Studios is like dying on me. Everything's dying on me. How does having an easy mode make things worse for you in this regard, my friend? I'm really I'm gonna be done now, guys. I don't know if I can handle this guy any more than I could handle like anyone else that we talked about ever. We'll go there. All right, let's see. Chat is still dying. Sorry. We'll watch just a little bit more of this and then probably be done.
That is incredibly exciting. I think, hell, I'll kill 100 Yogurs if I get to see 100 hermit men like that. I want more of those hermit men. Those things are cool. But no, it doesn't work like that. That is what motivates you to keep going through the game. Quote.
Okay. Wish we, did we even see on the screen all blurry and all bloody? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny a Flurfer there. He's fighting some gory thing. Yeah, this is whack. It is, fuck, Mr. Forge Labs, man. Flat Earther just told you your things was whack. You should be embarrassed. Oh, goodness. Okay. I think we're gonna stop here. I regret picking this video. He has nothing to say of actually any importance. He's got nothing. I'm done. I want to go home. I am home. Thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, especially if you stuck around and I disagreed with you and you were okay with me disagreeing with you. That's awesome of you. Solo, he's an idiot, also needs weird motivations so nobody else deserves an easy mode when they just want to spend an hour or two playing the game. Yeah, it's I maybe I'll watch the rest of it and actually try to figure out what his point is, but so far he has no point to why it shouldn't have easy mode. Like, it doesn't affect him. It doesn't affect you. Deal with the fact that some people might want it. It's fine. You're fine. You're fine. Stop complaining about it. Don't worry about it. All right. With that said, thank you everyone for being here. You all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all next time.